Welcome to the Chef's Kitchen. I'm your host, Nicole Gaffney, and we're here today with Chef Michael Heaps of Harry's Hospitality Group. Great having you on the show.
I'm glad to be here.
Oh, it's always such a pleasure working with you. Looks like we're making meat today.
Yeah, so we're going to do a classic steak au poivre. I'm really excited about this. We're going to start out with a whole New York strip loin right here. We're going to cut that down, talk about how we season it, and kind of move through there and finish with some fresh haricot vert and some steak frites.
Love it. Let's get started.
Fantastic. So right here we have our whole New York strip loin. I'm first going to start by taking this side.
This is a beautiful piece of meat. And are there bones in this?
There is no bones in this. No, this is completely bone-free.
All right. Now you do all of your butchering in-house at the restaurant.
We do the good majority of it, absolutely, yeah.
That's super impressive. So you're just basically looking to trim off a lot of that fat.
Yeah, because there's a lot of excess fat on the top and around the sides, so we want to kind of get rid of that and get it so there's about 1/4 of an inch of fat all the way around.
Nice. Now, do you do any aging? Like, do you dry age your steaks?
Well, these actually come in wet aged.
Okay.
So usually right around the minimum on our strip steaks, about 28 to 32 days just to start. I'm going to set this trim piece aside.
Okay.
And then we can start cutting down through. And I'm looking for about a 16-ounce portion right now.
All right.
So after we get that, we can then go and continue trimming out more if we'd like.
Okay.
So I'll take a little bit of this excess fat here.
So 16 ounce, that's a big steak.
Well, it's all right.
I mean, that's a pretty big piece of meat. And that's typically what you serve.
Yeah, on the menu we currently have a 16-ounce strip steak.
And that's for one person? That's not like a meal for two?
That's one person.
Nice, one hungry person.
So I'll cut a couple more of these.
I think one thing you guys are definitely known for is having really generous portions. So
absolutely. I think steakhouses in general, that's kind of what the expectation is.
You won't go hungry, that's for sure.
Not at all.
And about how many steaks will you get out of this piece?
This particular one right here, we'll probably get about 12 usable portions.
Nice.
Yeah. So I think that's good enough for now.
Yeah.
So we show right here different cuts that we had, or the 3 different cuts that we used. So in this particular application, because we're cooking with a very high heat and we want to get a good sear on there, instead of seasoning right before, we're actually going to do a dry brine. So in other words, what that is we're going to take our steaks, we're going to season them just like we would beforehand.
So lots of nice coarse salt.
Absolutely. This is a kosher salt, where you can kind of see exactly where you've salted.
And you're very generous with it.
Oh, absolutely. Remember, it's a thick cut of meat, so you can only get salt on the outside.
It's very true. Now, you guys are really known for your steaks, particularly your prime rib.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Yeah. Now, that's something that's roasted whole and then cut to order, right?
Yeah, kind of like this New York strip here.
Right.
You know, it's a whole cut, but typically what we would do with our ribeye is we would do one of two things. Either A, we cut it down into 18-ounce portions, and that is our ribeye. It's our 45-day aged ribeye, 18-ounce. Or we take that whole thing and we roast it off, and that's our prime rib.
Nice.
So anyways, back to dry brining. So what we did here is seasoned it just like we would right before we put it on the grill. But in this particular instance, we're going to just let it sit there for a minimum of 40 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Up to 48 hours. These particular steaks here, we've let set. I did this yesterday, so for 48 hours. And as you can see, it's kind of got this red sheen to it.
Yeah,
but it's very dry, if you can feel that. And one of the things, and one of the things that's going to really help with getting a good sear on it is not having any moisture there, and that's what the dry brining does.
So did you pat that down at all, or that's just how it is?
You just season it just like that.
Wow.
You let it set in your cooler, your refrigerator, whatever, just for, like I said, minimum of 40 minutes, and then after that, you're good to go.
Nice, great technique.
So we're going to set this aside and then start with the rest of our plate.
Great.
So we have French fries that we make in-house. So I'm going to cut up some French fries here as well. We're going to blanch them in our oil. And then after that, we'll move on to the next thing. We'll kind of set those to the side until right before it's time.
These are russet potatoes?
They are russet, yes.
That's sort of like the king potato for French fries, right?
It really is, yeah.
And do you cut them all by hand like this in the restaurant?
No, in the restaurant, we go through quite a bit of potatoes too. No, we actually have a fry press, but I mean, this is going to work great for, you know, just a couple things. If I was going to do this at home, this is kind of how I would do it.
Stay tuned for more of the Chef's Kitchen. We now return to the Chef's Kitchen.
So we get our oil up to about 320 degrees or so, and then we're just going to blanch those fries and then set them aside until we're ready to finish frying them the second time.
Now, what's the point of blanching them and twice frying them like you're doing?
It actually allows it to cook on the inside while staying crispy on the outside.
Nice.
So when you first blanch it, it's kind of cooked all the way from the outside to the center, the same amount of doneness. So you don't really get that crispy outside with that, you know.
So that's great. So all of the fries at Harry's are all twice fried like this.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Not a lot of restaurants take the time to do that extra step.
You know what? It's worth it though.
It is.
It really is.
It's totally worth it. Now you guys obviously have quite a bit of steaks, and meat on the menu, but you do a lot of seafood too. So tell me about that.
We do. At any given time, we have at least 4 fin fish that we're going to rotate seasonally. You know, currently we have halibut, sea bass. We've got swordfish.
Right.
And like I said, that all changes seasonally. And then in addition to that, we have scallops. We've got crab cakes, which we're known for, and a whole bunch of other stuff as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very nice.
We've got poke on the menu, like a tuna poke.
Oysters, of course.
Oysters, our
yeah,
calamari.
great selection.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of something for everybody, which is great.
There is.
So about how long do these take to blanch?
These are probably going to take about 3 or 4 minutes.
Oh, okay.
It really depends on the thickness that you cut
Right.
them.
Is this a lower temperature oil?
Yeah, so we're right around that 3 to 320 for the blanching.
Okay.
And then when it comes into frying, we're going to be about that 350 to get that real crisp outside.
Yeah, that nice brown exterior.
Yep. So you'll see when they get close to done that they're going to, you know, not be quite as firm.
Okay.
And that's when we're going to be able to take them out and set them aside.
Great.
Would you mind handing me that plate right there? So I think for this particular application right here, we're just going to set them aside and then we'll come back to them later. So next we're going to blanch our haricots verts, so our French green beans, and then we're going to set them aside until right before we plate up,
Nice.
and then we'll saute them with a little bit of shallot, garlic, olive oil, and butter.
Beautiful. So we're working with like a really classic French
Very classic
recipe
yes.
here. I love that. The classics are classic for a reason, you know? They're just good.
All right, so we got them, our haricots verts blanching, so we're going to take them out and shock them in an ice bath.
About how long do they take to blanch?
Maybe 2 minutes tops.
Okay, so pretty quick.
They don't take very long. I think it's going to move now on to finishing seasoning our steaks. So we're going to start by fresh grinding our black peppercorns for our steak au poivre. We have Telecherry black peppercorns.
Is that like a special kind of pepper?
It's arguably one of like the best black peppers in
Nice.
the world. It's from India, and it's kind of got a great balance to it between fragrant and spiciness, and it's that classical black pepper that most people
Nice.
come to expect.
Well, au poivre is a black peppercorn sauce, so I guess we got to really pull out all the stops and use the good stuff here.
Absolutely. So we take our black peppercorns that we just cracked.
Nice.
We're
nice
going
and coarse.
we're going to put them in the bottom there. Then we'll take our dry brine steaks and we're going to press them in there, coat them.
Wow, so like really getting in that pepper.
It is,
Yeah.
yes.
I guess that's the point, right?
That's it.
Nice. So you just got a real nice pepper crust.
Now we're going to move on to searing those.
So I see you've got a nice cast iron skillet.
I do, yes.
Is that your tool of choice for cooking a steak?
I like the cast iron
Yeah.
skillet because it's an even heat. It holds the temperature as well, and it allows you to get a really nice sear on there.
Awesome.
We're going to use a little bit of oil in the bottom, not a whole lot,
Okay.
just enough so that we can get a nice sear.
And you want this pan pretty hot?
You do. You want to bring the oil to smoke point, which you can
Awesome.
see right there. And at that point, we can go ahead and start searing our steaks.
Now a steak that's this thick, how long does that typically take to cook?
Well, we're going to sear it on each side probably around 3 minutes, which it'll still be rare at that point in
Right.
time. But at that point, we can go ahead and stick it in the oven. We'll let it continue cooking while we create our pan sauce.
Perfect. It already smells so good.
It really does.
That black pepper starting to kind of toast in the oil. Save those two for later.
Yeah, I will. So we don't want to turn it too soon because we really want to get that nice hard crust on the bottom and toast those peppercorns. So it's very important.
Now,
so
you guys do a lot of special events at Harry's. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, we do corporate events, various catering, and weddings as well. So all different types of events.
We'll be coming up to wedding season soon.
It's very soon.
Yeah.
It's always right around the corner.
And you guys have a really impressive wine program as well. Beverage program in general, but your wine list is really something special.
Absolutely.
And we'll be pairing some wines with this in a little bit, which I'm really excited to talk about.
That should be good.
Yeah, I mean, you can't have a nice steak like this without a really nice wine to go with it.
Well, you could, it just won't be the same.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you gotta live, right?
Stay tuned for more of the Chef's Kitchen. We now return to the Chef's Kitchen.
All right, let's see where we're at here. Let's give it just a second more.
Okay. And then Harry's is really known for more of like a steakhouse, fine dining type of a dinner. But Kid Shalene's, that's more of a casual, kind of fun.
It is. It's definitely a lot more casual. You can go in there for a fairly quick meal. You can have a great burger, or, you know, we're also known for like our tacos.
Yeah.
And we've got some really nice fresh salads and all kinds of good stuff like that. So it's really a crowd pleaser. Anybody can go there and get something that they love.
Yeah, you can bring the kids.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a really fun spot.
All right, so you'll see that beautiful caramelization there.
Gorgeous. Very, very nice.
So we'll give it another couple minutes on that side, and then from there we're going to transfer it to the oven, and then we can start on our pan sauce.
Great.
All right, so we got an awesome sear on these steaks.
Yeah, they look killer.
We've had probably about 3 minutes on each side, and they're more towards rare right now, but I want to bring them up to about mid-rare. So what I'm going to do is kind of kill the heat to this real quick. Come back to that. I'll take these off. You can see that beautiful caramelization right there.
Oh, the smell in here too is like bonkers.
So we're gonna finish these in the oven, like I said, at 350 degrees, just until they come up to an internal temperature of about 125 to 128 degrees.
Okay.
So we're gonna use this pan to create our sauce. So if you look at the bottom of this, so we have all that fond on the bottom there.
Plus, I noticed a lot of the peppercorns from the steak.
You got the peppercorns, you got all that brown sear on there, and that's like perfect for the sauce.
Awesome.
So next we're going to go and we're going to start with our shallots. So we're going to throw a couple shallots in there, and we can use, as long as there's not an excess amount of fat in the bottom there from the steak, we can kind of use that to kind of start sauteing.
Nice. So you get to kind of carry through that meat flavor.
Absolutely. So we'll throw shallots in there. We kind of want to saute those up for about a minute or so. Get them nice and brown. Ooh, now you can really smell that pepper.
Definitely, yeah. It just smells like a French kitchen in here. Shallots and black pepper.
Hungry.
Yeah, I've been hungry.
So now we're going to deglaze the shallots and the fond.
Ooh, let me stand back for this.
With our crevassier.
A little cognac.
A little cognac.
Ooh, oh my gosh, I almost lost my eyebrows there.
And then once we burn that off, then we can go and move forward with adding our demi-glace.
Now this is demi-glace.
This is true demi-glace.
Look at that.
We use this a lot in the restaurant.
And you make this in-house?
We do, yeah. We make it.
Which is quite a process.
Huge, like 30-gallon vats.
In fact, I think I've seen those giant vats of it cooking down when I've been at the restaurant.
Yep, those big steam kettles.
But this is really essential. I mean, if you don't have a really good demi-glace, your sauce just isn't going to be that flavorful.
And it's not going to have that viscosity to it.
Right, that silky mouthfeel that's so important.
So we're going to put that in there, and we're going to let that come up to a simmer so it cooks down and starts getting to that thickness that we're looking for. You see how this is starting to bubble up and reduce down?
Yeah, it's starting to thicken up a bit. The smell. I keep talking about how good it smells in here, but seriously, it smells so good. And this is something that's always on the menu at Harry's, right? This isn't
Yeah,
a special. This is something you always
So we
have.
always have the 16-ounce New York strip loins available, but then we also have like an Au Poivre sauce. So we have a peppercorn sauce that's ready to go. And if somebody requests an actual Au Poivre steak, we'll absolutely take care of it and do it exactly how we're showing it here.
That's great. So sort of classic steakhouse style.
Very classic. You know, we focus on the techniques behind it and make sure that it's executed properly.
Classic but fun. So you can kind of order a steak and then pair it with whatever sauce you'd like.
Yeah, absolutely.
We
we offer essentially 6 different toppings between béarnaise. We've got a couple compound butters, our Bercy butter, for instance. We'll also do sautéed mushrooms, sautéed onions, really whatever you want. We'll take care of it for you.
Yeah, you guys are great over there.
So this is cooking down a little bit. We're going to hit it with some heavy cream.
Ooh, now comes the fun. So it looks like you're making latte art.
I was never barista. So we'll let that kind of reduce down and get thickened as well. And now hopefully our French fryer is up to temp. There we go.
Oh yeah.
Stir them
Now
around
really
a little
sizzling.
bit. Just until we get them nice and golden brown.
Awesome. About how long do they take at this point for the second fry?
I'm guessing these should probably only take about 4 minutes or so.
All right.
Just get nice and golden brown on the outside. Our French fries are nice and golden brown right now.
Oh, they look perfect.
Yeah.
I love them when they're nice and well done like that, when they have a little brown to them.
Yeah, you got to get that nice golden brown on the outside. It gives it that little crispness.
You can even hear the crunchiness of them when they just hit the bowl.
So we're just going to season these with a little bit of salt. And they're ready to roll. The only last thing we have to do is quickly saute our green beans.
Stay tuned for more of the Chef's Kitchen. We now return to the Chef's Kitchen.
Would you be able to get me a saute pan briefly?
Sure.
All right, so we're just gonna, now that we have everything blanched here, ready to go, we're just gonna do a little bit of olive oil and a little bit of butter.
I couldn't help myself with the fries. They're perfect.
Good. We're gonna melt that down. And then briefly saute our haricots verts, a little salt and pepper.
So just a real simple prep with those.
Very simple, yeah. I mean, you already have so much flavor going on with this sauce.
Exactly.
And
just
then,
keep the vegetable
kind of keep them simple,
Yeah.
let them speak for themselves.
For sure.
So now you can kind of hear the oil in there and the butter in there. So we're gonna take our haricots verts, pop them in there, give it a little toss, throw just a touch of garlic in there.
And these are already blanched, so you're kind of just warming them through, right?
Up. That's about it. Do a little bit of salt. All right, it's time to plate up. So we've got our steaks, which are now done. Should be nice medium rare. We'll throw our French fries down right here. Green beans. Over here. Don't cover up that areas. And then we'll take our steak right there.
That is a big steak, man.
That is. And now finally.
Now that sauce goes right over top.
Pardon me. Yep.
Oh, look at that. That looks so good.
Bingo.
Yum.
And we're ready.
That looks amazing. Let's bring it over to the tasting table. So joining us for the tasting is our general manager, Kelly O'Hanlon. She's going to tell us a little bit about the wine we're going to try today.
Yeah, hey Nicole, how you doing?
Great, how are you?
Very good, thank you. Good to see you again.
Me too.
So today we are going to be tasting a wonderful Cabernet that will be going great with this steak au poivre. And interesting about this wine that I chose, it's Nyers, and actually the owner and winemaker, Bruce Nyers, is actually a Wilmington native, and Wilmington, Delaware is where we're from.
Of course.
So it's kind of a cool little local thing, but his wines are usually superb year after year, and this is a 2016 Cabernet.
Nice.
And 2016 was an awesome vintage out in Napa. So this wine is got all of great California big fruit with a little European elegance. So it should pair
Smells
perfectly
wonderful.
with these lovely pieces that Chef just cut
Absolutely.
for us.
Excellent.
So
Well,
cheers.
cheers.
Let's try it.
This is such a treat. Thank you.
Yum. Can I have a fork? I want to try.
Absolutely.
This is really nice, and I can already tell how great it's going to be.
Yeah,
with the
just
steak.
the big berries and the
yes.
leathery and the great tannins.
It's exactly what you want with a nice steak like this.
Yeah, and this rich sauce. Wow.
The steak is so
Perfect
tender.
there.
It's perfectly cooked. The black pepper, it's not overpowering.
Wow. This is a great combo.
That's good.
This is a perfect steakhouse combination. Harry's Hospitality Group, Harry's Savoy Grill. This has been such a pleasure, and I can't wait to finish this entire steak. 'Cause I'm hungry.
I'm going to help you.
Thank you guys so much.
Thanks
you.
for having us.
I like it here because I actually get to show people what it is that we do in the restaurant. You know, oftentimes people that are coming to the restaurant, they don't get to see what we do in the back of the house. So this is a great opportunity where I actually get to show what it is that we do.